found yourself moving to Bowie, or Madonna, or maybe Daft Punk, or of course Chic, then you've definitely felt the impact of the guy we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Nile Rodgers.
Yeah.
We're going deep because, everyone knows the hits, but maybe not the sheer craft behind them. He really is the groove architect.
And that's the perfect frame for this, really. Our mission here is to get past just the playlist, to kind of distill the core of his sound philosophy.
Right.
How did one guy, basically a guitarist and producer, manage to define the sound for three major music eras: late disco, 80s pop, even 21st century electronic stuff?
And all with that signature sound running through it. Okay, let's dig into this stack of sources then. The scale of what he did is, it's pretty staggering.
It really is.
And what's amazing is it wasn't just luck, right? It seems like it was built on this deep understanding of music that started, kind of unexpectedly early.
It did. You look at his background, born 1952, New York. He was soaked in music. But before the big disco hits, he was getting this incredible practical education and versatility.
Yeah, the sources definitely back that up. We're talking about someone whose early gigs included touring with the Sesame Street stage show band.
Right. Imagine that.
And then a totally different world, playing back up at Harlem's Apollo Theater for actual legends.
Exactly. Think about that contrast. 1 minute, it's structured. Kids' music needs discipline, precision.
Yeah.
The next, you're backing Aretha Franklin, Benny King. You're learning not just the notes, but the feel, how to support a star, how that groove works in real time.
And that kind of intense training ground led to the big one, the crucial partnership. Met Bernard Edwards while touring.
The bassist.
And boom, the core of their sound seems like it was right there. Around 76, 77, they formed Chic.
And Chic was ambitious. They weren't just hopping on the disco train. They were properly fusing stuff. Post-funk rhythm, that early disco beat, but also jazz harmony, all packaged for the dance floor, yeah. With Tony Thompson on drums, Raymond Jones, Norma Jean Wright singing. These were serious musicians elevating the whole scene.
And it happened fast. That first album in 77, Chic, had Dance, Dance, Dance.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but then the second one, Say Chic in 78, that had Le Freak. And that just changed everything.
Le Freak was enormous, a total phenomenon. Not just charts everywhere, but our sources say it was one of the biggest selling singles ever for their label at that point.
Huge.
It proved audiences were ready for that mixed, sophisticated music you could still totally dance to. They basically laid down the blueprint for the sophisticated dance floor sound.
Okay, let's pull that sound apart then. If we're doing surgery on the Chic DNA, what are the key bits? Because it wasn't accidental, was it?
No, it was architecture, definitely. First, you got to start with Bernard Edwards' bass, foundational.
Yeah.
His lines weren't just rhythm, they were hooks, melodies in themselves. Really fat sound, but somehow spacious too. Let the track breathe.
And then Nile's guitar. Which is funny because it's not about being loud or shredding.
Not at all. It's all timing.
Yeah.
Purely rhythmic support. He plays it almost like a percussion instrument, that super clean, crisp, repetitive thing. They call it chucking, right? If you listen closely, his guitar is doing the syncopation the drums aren't doing. It gives it that constant forward lean, keeps it moving.
So you get this incredibly tight rhythm section, Edwards and Rodgers, one unit.
Exactly.
And then they layer on top horn, strings, all those vocal layers. It wasn't just get up and dance. It's almost listen to how well this is built. Precisely.
They took disco from just a trend and made it about arrangement, density, real musicianship, and that legacy. I mean, one source we looked at, citing The Guardian, called Chic the most sampled band in history.
Wow. If we connect this to the bigger picture.
Yeah.
That kind of rhythmic perfection, it created a language, didn't it? It went beyond just that moment. I mean, Say Chic hitting at number 4 on the main Billboard album chart, #1 R&B for 11 weeks. That wasn't just success. It proved complex, rhythm-first music could be huge. Universal even.
And that universality, you really see it when you focus on the tracks that became actual blueprints. Le Freak defined their sound, sure, but Good Times from Risque in 79, that defined the future.
Oh yeah. You really can't overstate Good Times. That bass line. that groove. It wasn't just a hit record, it became like a cultural artifact.
It's the ultimate bridge, isn't it? 1979, Sugar Hill Gang drops Rapper's Delight, famously built right on top of the Good Times groove.
Directly sampled it.
Directly. And that track, you could argue, is the moment linking that sophisticated funk and disco world straight into this new energy of hip-hop. Nile Rodgers' groove became the bedrock for a whole new genre.
But okay, while Chic is perfecting this sound, the whole music scene is shifting hard. You get the disco sucks backlash.
Brutal.
Which was a real cultural thing. How did Rodgers handle that? His band defined the very genre being attacked.
It was tough. The sources show that Chic's commercial momentum definitely took a hit. Later albums like Real People in 1980, you can hear them trying to figure out where they fit in this new post-disco, early new wave kind of thing.
Right.
But that pressure, that market shift, it forced a decision that basically changed music history again. Rodgers and Edwards realized they had to take their method, their sound, and apply it outside the band.
Okay, so instead of being the groove band, they become the groove architects for hire.
Exactly.
This is where the Chic sound leaves Chic, basically, and becomes this portable production style.
And they hit the ground running. Look at 79, they produced Sister Sledge, We Are Family, iconic.
Written and produced entirely by them.
Entirely. Took that tight, layered Chic structure, applied it to a vocal group, bang. Immediate, powerful.
And then Diana Ross in 1980. The Diana album gave her I'm Coming Out Upside Down. Completely refreshed her sound for the 80s.
Yeah, and what's fascinating there is they weren't trying to fundamentally change Diana Ross, where they just gave her that propulsive rhythm-first frame. They kind of swapped out the lush 70s thing for that clean, tight, Chic sound. Gave her this modern Ed without losing who she was.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. Because this is where Rodgers just pulls away from everyone else. The early 80s hits MTV. Synths are everywhere, drum machines.
Yeah, the whole landscape changed.
A producer tied to disco. Should have faded out. But Rodgers does the opposite. He becomes the guy everyone wants. Almost like the antidote to all the cold synth stuff.
He must have realized those core rhythm principles. They worked anywhere. If you needed human groove, actual feel injected into a track, Nile Rodgers was the call.
Yeah.
His career shift in the early to mid 80s is just wow. Shows he wasn't stuck in any genre box at all.
Okay, let's take off the big ones. The huge shifts he helped engineer for massive stars. David Bowie first. Let's Dance, 1983, huge commercial comeback for Bowie. What did Rodgers bring that a rock icon needed?
Well, Bowie wanted a sophisticated dance sound, right? But it had to be cool, not cheesy 80s disco. Rodgers brought that rhythmic complexity, that counterpoint. He swapped out some of the heavier, maybe more abstract art rock sounds of late 70s Bowie for this lean, sharp funk drive. The result. A super sophisticated dance album that still felt like Bowie, but made him a global pop monster again. Proof the Chic architecture worked even for rock royalty.
And he wasn't scared of pure pop either. Took those same instincts right into Madonna's Like a Virgin in '84. Material Girl, Dress You Up. Those tracks basically were her early image.
He just distilled the groove down to its most potent pop form. Or maybe other 80s producers would drown her in heavy synth bass or gated drums.
Yeah, that huge reverb sound.
Right. Rodgers kept the rhythm section light, tight, but aggressive. Put his chucking guitar in there to push it forward, made every beat hooky, totally danceable.
And if that wasn't enough genre hopping, he jumps over to new wave and rock with Duran Duran. Remixes The Reflex, produces Wild Boys, co-produces Notorious in '86. That's a long way from disco.
It just shows his adaptability was total.
Yeah.
Duran Duran were kind of moving away from relying so heavily on synths then. Rodgers helped them make that transition, gave them a real, live, rhythmic backbone, often used his guitar signature to drive things instead of just keyboards. Made their sound feel more grounded, maybe a bit harder edged.
So the big lesson from his whole 80s run, it's not just that he survived the disco backlash, it's that he proved his sound could go anywhere.
Absolutely. He took his core identity, that rhythmic guitar, the hook-first approach, the tight, non-boring groove, and just plugged it into totally different genres successfully.
Yeah.
The fact that the same producer's hand could shape Bowie, Madonna, and Duran Duran all within like 3 years, that's why he's an architect, not just a hitmaker.
And when you look at the actual numbers, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Records he's written, produced, or played on have sold over 500 million albums and 75 million singles worldwide.
The scale is just Immense. And crucially, it didn't stop in the 80s. His relevance kept going. Look at 2013, working with Daft Punk on Random Access Memories.
Oh yeah, Get Lucky.
Get Lucky. I mean, could there be a more perfect modern example of the Chic sound reborn?
It's almost spooky how recognizable it is. That track is just a masterclass in fusing that classic 70s rhythm precision with modern electronic production. You hear that guitar part, clean, crisp, right there in the 21st century.
And see, that track didn't just sample the past, it featured the originator, proving that decades later, his musical language is still the best way to get that pure, sophisticated joy onto a dance floor.
And all this ongoing work, this expertise,
Yeah.
it's cemented his place, hasn't it, as this kind of elder statesman, not just making hits, but institutionally recognized, like being the first ever chief creative advisor at Abbey Road Studios.
Yeah, that's huge. A real nod to his mastery of the studio itself. His whole story is just one of incredible resilience, really. Professional ups and downs, health challenges,
Right.
and just kept reinventing from band leader to producer to collaborator to mentor. It makes sense why he got the 2024 Polar Music Prize. It's a living legacy still happening.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, when you put on one of those tracks next time?
Well, I think it means that great music often comes down to fundamentals. We've kind of pulled out 3 core ideas from Nile Rodgers' philosophy. First, craft matters. His success wasn't about trends, it was meticulous musicianship, rhythm, arrangement.
Okay.
Second, collaboration matters. Those partnerships, Edwards, Bowie, Daft Punk, they weren't just gigs, they were real creative connections that fueled his adaptability.
Makes sense.
And third, adaptation matters. You have to evolve with the times, with technology, and this is key without losing your core identity. For him, that was rhythm.
So Nile Rodgers' legacy, it's not just history. It's like the basic rhythm track still playing under modern R&B, funk revival, house music, pop. His influence is just there, audible. Once you know what you're listening for, you hear echoes of him everywhere.
So here's a thought for next time. Next time you hear a modern track, could be hip hop, could be deep house, could be a huge pop song that just instantly makes you want to move. Pause for a second. Ask yourself, was that beat just cooked up in a laptop somewhere? Or does it owe something fundamental to that clean, foundational, sampled rhythmic groove that Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards perfected back in the late 70s? Go back and really listen to the difference between, say, a synth bass and that live, breathing Edwards pulse. Can you hear that good times DNA still echoing down through the decades?